Chapter 1. The Law of Manifestation. The first universal law of success. The primal cause is mind. Everything must start with an idea. Every event, every condition, everything is first an idea in the mind. Robert Collier. The mechanics of your mind reveal fascinating possibilities, not merely in the capacity to work out complex problems and learn new information, but an ability that transcends logic and actually moves into the realm of physical creation. This is the power of your consciousness, and it's the source of your destiny creation. The first law of success, the law of manifestation, demonstrates how things come into being. In quantum physics, consciousness creates reality, and this applies to your personal world as well. Modern science explores many theories of consciousness-created reality. One is cosmological, explaining how the universe came into being. It says that our world is far too complex to have reached this stage of development merely through a random series of coincidental events, so it must be the result of conscious intention. Another theory has to do with how physical reality is constructed out of the raw material of the universe, and yet another explores how our individual consciousness chooses one of the infinite possibilities that are available to us at each moment of time. Even the theory of observer-created reality, which has to do with how particles and waves are measured, indicates that intention and consciousness are very real forces. The science behind these quantum physical theories is intriguing, but it's your personal reality that we'll examine here. The individual application of observer creation reveals that what you notice about yourself becomes present. Think about this for a moment. What do you tend to note about yourself? Are those self-observations negative or positive? What kind of reality do you think that you'll come up with based on them? These are significant questions, and it would be helpful to answer each one in your journal. But this is only the beginning where your destiny manifestation is concerned, since your consciousness creates your reality. To understand how, it's important to find out what your consciousness is and how it acts as a creative force in your life. If you want to see this power, all you have to do is take a look around you. Setting aside the discussion of higher consciousness created reality and what you see in the natural world, it's easy to see the power and the presence of personal consciousness in your daily life. As I pause right now, I witness it everywhere. The spirit of a street artist from St. Petersburg, Russia, reveals itself to me in a painting that hangs on my wall. The consciousness of Mozart plays to me from my CD player. The energy of Charles Dickens speaks to me as I read myself to sleep at night. And the inspiration of a stained glass artist and dear friend shines for me as sunlight streams through one of her creations. The consciousness of a furniture builder supports me, and a home builder protects me. And these and a million more ways each day, I am influenced by the creative force of others, and I am a witness to what humans can create. When we add the natural world into the mix and open ourselves to the real fullness of conscious created reality in every sense of its meaning, we can see its beauty and force everywhere. From the smallest pebble on a dirt road to the expanse of the midnight sky, from a child's paper airplane to a nationally computerized power grid, it all began in the power of the mind. This is the fundamental reality of all manifestation. Everything exists in consciousness first. And while not all of it produces beneficial results, every bit of it produces something. Consciousness created the World Trade Center and also destroyed it. In terms of your personal life, your success, or lack of it, manifests in your consciousness first. If you can look around you and see failure and difficulty, that's a product of your mind. If you see abundance and achievement, that's a force of your own too. Everything that you'll ever manifest is in the boiling pot of your conscious energy, creating the concoction that you'll later call your life. The law of manifestation is clear. If your consciousness creates your reality, You simply can't manifest anything that doesn't exist fully formed inside you first. You can't experience success without an unconflicted knowledge of what that looks and feels like first. What's your consciousness creating now? The phrase, "your consciousness creates your destiny," by no means translates to mean, you consciously create your destiny. The fact is that most of us are completely unaware of how we script the circumstances we find ourselves in. In truth, most people don't even know that they create their situations. They perceive life as a series of random events that, for the most part, aren't of their own making. Very rarely does it occur to them that what they experience is something they've unknowingly set up. For this reason, one of the first requirements of the law of manifestation is to investigate exactly what it is you're focusing on. The following questions are designed to help you get in touch with this important aspect of your destiny creation. While you'll be exploring the many layers of manifestation in the next chapter, this exercise will help you start to become more aware of your consciousness direction. Journal for success. Answer these questions in your success journal. Review them often to investigate your consciousness creativity on a regular basis. Generally speaking, what are the things you're most conscious of? That is, what do you tend to think about the most? Are you more conscious of what you have or what you lack? What is your most important career goal? How much time do you spend each day consciously focusing on its success? What's the most prevalent habit, pattern, or even addiction in your life? How much time do you spend each day engaging in this habit? How conscious of it are you when you're not doing it? Do you tend to focus more on the positives of your day or the problems that come up? Does your thought process tend to be more negative or positive? The answers to these questions are important indicators of your consciousness direction. You have within you the power to design your destiny the way you want it. You're at work on it right now. But just as an architect can't design a masterful building with his eyes closed, you can't become the architect of your dreams until you open your eyes to your choices. Becoming conscious. Do you ever stop to notice what you're thinking about? How often do you really consider the consequences of your choices before you make them? There are many people who are clueless about why they do what they do, or even what it means. They move through whole decades at a time, reacting out of some unconscious and largely unconsidered approach to life. These are what I call the consciousness zombies, trudging through life day after day in an unaware state. They follow their habits and react out of emotion, doing what's required and not much more. But if this sounds like your own approach in the past, don't worry. You do have the power to awaken from the ranks of the undead. You can choose a different, higher, and brighter consciousness and move on to a better life than you've ever experienced. Perhaps even better than you've ever dreamed of. Consciousness is always a choice. It's the choice to bring your awareness to the present moment, the decision to see and prioritize that which is truly important, that which is genuinely honoring and value-enhancing in your life. Your constant question must be, what am I focusing my consciousness on now? And the question that follows is, what might this consciousness be creating for me? I have a client who readily admitted that she spent most of her day thinking about food. Surprisingly, she was only a few pounds overweight, but she was very honest about her obsession with wondering what, when, and how much she was going to eat each day. Because she struggled to control this, she exercised regularly and had never been really obese. She lost or gained a little, but it didn't change the fact that she was always unhappy with her weight. She had similarly bad feelings about her career, where she made just enough money to get by in tedious jobs that were always just okay, while doing a little freelance writing on the side. She hadn't realized that neither her weight issue nor her job problems were ever going to change until she began to consciously focus more on her career than she did on food. We worked on letting go of her obsession and creating a sane approach to eating. She began to affirm self-acceptance at any weight and she also raised her consciousness about her career priorities. I told her that every time she thought about food, she had to engage in some sort of positive thought or specific action concerning her career. This shifted both her focus and her motivation, and it was just what she needed to get results. In time, she not only lost weight, but her freelance writing career became so successful that she was able to quit her job and make twice as much money doing something she loved. You too can take control of your own destiny manifestation. To shift your consciousness creation, you need to be much more aware of the positive than the negative, and of your value and priorities. Choose to focus your thoughts on the good things that you already have, as well as those you're going to attract. Always take deliberate action in the direction of your goals instead of engaging in unconscious reactions and distractions. In the next chapter, we'll discuss specific techniques that will enable you to make a total consciousness shift. But you can start awakening to your options right now. Remember, if you don't like what you're creating, you must change what you're conscious of. When you catch yourself focused on the negative, you need to know that your mind is creating negative results. Shift that focus no matter what it takes, and you'll soon see the power and positive outcome that a truly optimistic consciousness can create. Affirmations to enhance manifestation. Every day I am becoming more aware of what I prioritize and what I tend to focus on. I prioritize my goals. I focus on all that I have to value. I am choosing to be more and more conscious of what I have to appreciate in my life. I am conscious of my resourcefulness, my creativity, and my power to create a great destiny. I know that my consciousness creates my reality. I always choose an optimistic mindset. I consciously choose hope, joy, and peace in my daily life.